Disco reggae. Play that music down in the groove, feeling pretty smooth. I'm gonna shake my hip, but I'm feeling pretty pissed. I once was a skin, but now into soul. Play that reggae.
Shove the rock and roll.
I once knew a girl called Maggie, but no man, she's no into reggae. So I told her not to go too fast or not.
Okay, think about this for a second. What if you could take something you created maybe years ago, something, well, let's be honest, maybe a bit rough, right? And what if you could just like magically transform it, make it sound absolutely polished like you had, I don't know, Abbey Road Studios and a top producer from day one?
Yeah, that's quite a thought experiment.
Well, today we're actually going deep on a project that's kind of doing just that. It's called Cloud of Dust, Reimagined.
And it's fascinating stuff. It's not just music, is it? It's about creativity, looking back, and how new tech can change things.
Totally.
So our mission today, for you listening, is really to get into their story. We're talking about two friends, right? No real musical training back in the 80s.
None at all, apparently.
And now they're using cutting-edge AI to make their old amateur recordings sound like genuine 80s hits.
It's wild.
We want to understand that journey, how they're using AI differently, and, the actual process behind it. It's pretty surprising.
Okay, so let's set the scene. October 1983. Andy Hunt and Steve Richards.
The founders.
Exactly. And apparently, after a few drinks, they record their first song, Disco Reggae.
Huh. Disco Reggae, love it.
And the gear. Think basic. Really basic. A little Casio keyboard, some cheap mic, a radio cassette player. That's it.
Wow.
But that one night, that sort of spontaneous moment, that kicked off the whole Cloud of Dust thing.
And that's what's so interesting. It started as just messing around, bit of fun, right?
Yeah, a DIY thing.
But it grew into this huge creative outlet. They ended up making nearly 180 pieces of music over the years, just constantly trying new styles, figuring out recording.
Incredible output.
And Andy Hunt said something really telling, didn't he? He called it like an alternative universe where we were the songwriters and record producers.
Yeah, I love that quote. It shows the ambition was there, even if the means weren't,
Absolutely. That mindset is key.
And you mentioned it started as fun, but Andy also said it became more. It turned into a way to express emotions and comment on the political and social aspects of our time.
Right, so it gained depth.
Exactly. And the name Cloud of Dust wasn't even their idea initially. Apparently, Andy's colleague, John Ford, just threw it out there.
Huh. Just like that.
Pretty much. And it wasn't always just the two of them. Loads of friends chipped in over time.
Right. You had James Hunt, who actually had some musical training.
The only one.
Jeanette Hunt, Nick Wilson-Smith, Lee Jeffries, Nick Hawkins, Dave Luxton, Gary Tillett. And they even had a different name for a while.
Yeah, briefly in '84, Cloud of Dust and the Particles.
The Particles. Okay. But the core, especially early on, was Steve Richards on vocals and lyrics, mostly. And Andy Hunt driving the music, the composing side.
Yeah.
And that combo, the keyboards, those unique vocals, their willingness to just try stuff melodically, it gave them a sound, even with the basic gear.
Which really brings us to the big question. Given all that no training basic gear, how on earth do they make so much music?
Right.
It comes down to their studio evolution, as they call it.
Yeah, and this evolution is less about fancy gear, initially anyway, and more about pure creative workarounds, like extreme problem solving.
Totally.
Their first setup, the Bauvet Studio, 83 to 86, so primitive. We're talking cassette decks, those two little Casios, an MT70 and a VL1.
Right.
A basic amp, rough mics. You have to picture the scene.
Hard to imagine now.
And their technique for layering sounds, literally bouncing tracks between two tape players, copying from one, playing along live onto the other, back and forth.
Oh, man. So no multi-tracking, no fixing mistakes.
Nothing. No edits. Everything had to be one single take. If you messed up near the end, start again.
That must have been intense.
Intense, noisy, unpredictable. But they made it work. They produced albums that way. Volumes 1 to 3, Excalibur, From Behind Closed Doors, New Domain, all done like that.
It really puts modern home studios into perspective, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
But what's impressive is they didn't just stick with that. They kept pushing, kept upgrading when they could.
Exactly. They moved on to Millstream Studio later in the 80s, early 90s. Got things like a Yamaha MT-124 track. That was a step up.
A 4-track, yeah. Still limiting by today's standards, but a leap forward then.
Huge leap. And a Casio HT3000 keyboard. Then later, MIDI gear started coming in.
Okay, so connecting instruments digitally.
Yeah, controlling sounds, sequencing, and eventually a proper PC setup. They were always adapting.
And they even used another friend space, Simon Pratt's Bulham Soundstage.
Briefly, yeah.
Yeah.
For some live drums and guitars on one track, My Sahara Life in the early 90s.
And then the Springfield studio later on for the Unicorn album, that was more electronic.
Yeah, mid-90s to mid-2010s. Fully electronic, instrumental stuff using computer software. It just shows that constant curiosity, always embracing the next thing.
Which brings us neatly to the present day and AI. Now, this is where things get really interesting because AI in music, well, it's controversial, right?
Oh, definitely. There are huge debates about originality, jobs, the future of creativity.
But Cloud of Dust seems to have a very specific, almost ethical take on it.
I think ethical is the right word. And it's why this project feels different and important for that whole AI conversation.
How so?
Their stance is crystal clear. They say AI is used as a tool, not a substitute. It's not about generating new music from scratch in their name.
Right.
It's purely about enhancing those original ideas.
Yeah.
Taking what was already there in those old recordings.
The essence of it.
Exactly. And bringing new life to older tracks in ways the original setup could never have achieved. And the crucial point, the ethical line for them, is that they feel okay using it on their own material, their own history. They explicitly say they don't support using other artists' work without permission.
That's a massive distinction. It's not scraping other people's work.
Precisely. It reframes AI from being a potential replacement to being like a reimagination tool for your own past creations, unlocking potential that was always there.
And that ties into their aha moment, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Andy Hunt had already remastered some tracks digitally years ago.
Right, in the 2000s.
But he kept thinking, what if we had today's tech back then? He wondered what it could have sounded like.
That lingering question.
Then, 2023, he discovers Suno AI. And his reaction was just, wow, that's what we had in mind all those years ago.
Imagine that feeling. Hearing your decade-old ideas finally realized in the way you sort of heard them in your head must be incredible.
Yeah, a real validation. So, okay, let's get practical. How does this actually work? You hear AI, you think maybe you just upload the old tape, press a button, and boom, 80s hit.
If only. Andy is very clear. It's not as easy as clicking a button, not even close.
Okay.
It takes, in his words, a huge amount of prompt engineering and patience.
Prompt engineering. So telling the AI what you want it to do specifically.
Right. It's like learning a new language, figuring out how to describe the sound you're after. Maybe lush 80s synth pop, female backing vocals, Lindrum beat, slightly melancholic feel. Getting those prompts right is an art.
And they have specific settings they tweak in Suno.
Yeah, he mentions 3 key ones. First, weirdness, basically. How much creative license the AI has to change things from the original.
Okay, how far it can stray.
Then, style influence. How strongly it should stick to the genre or style you've prompted it with.
Right.
And finally, original audio influence. How closely it needs to follow the actual notes and structure of the track you uploaded.
Wow. Okay, so juggling those 3 things.
You get any of them wrong, Andy says, and the results can be hilarious. Which tells you something important.
What's that?
That the human ear, human judgment, is still totally essential. You need to know when it's gone off the rails, when it's captured the feeling, when it's just weird.
Right. The AI doesn't know what sounds good, necessarily.
Exactly. And it's iterative. You try a prompt to get a result. It's never the same twice, even with the same prompt. So it's this constant cycle. Remix, listen, tweak the prompt, try again, listen again.
Sounds like a lot of work.
It is. And there were technical hurdles, too. Suno used to have a 2.5-minute limit on uploads.
Oh, wow. Most songs are longer than that.
Right. So they had to chop up their original songs, feed the AI the most important bits, generate those sections.
And then stitch them back together.
Yeah, using other software, like Ableton, a digital audio workstation.
Yeah.
Reconstruct the full song piece by piece.
Man.
Even now, the limit's longer, like 8 minutes. But he says the final tracks often still need editing, mastering, fixing little glitches the AI throws in.
So it's always guided.
Always, as they put it, with a human ear guiding the process. That's fundamental to their approach.
It really is a fascinating blend of old creativity and new tech. And the cool thing is you can actually hear this project unfolding. They're releasing these tracks weekly.
Yeah, mostly chronologically, which is neat. You can stream them for free online. And there are options to buy them too, support the project.
That's great. Are there any specific tracks that really showcase this AI reimagining process?
Definitely. They mentioned Jane as the first proof of concept. That was the one where they really figured out how to work around that initial 2.5-minute limit.
Okay, the test case.
Then there's Departure, an early song with Steve Richards on vocals. It became, fittingly, another successful reggae reimagining.
Full circle back to disco reggae.
Kind of, yeah. And another one, Flammarion, which is more guitar-based, is apparently one of Andy's personal favorites from the reimagined batch.
Cool. We'll have to check those out.
Yeah. And really, when you step back and look at this whole Cloud of Dust story, this deep dive, it tells us something important about technology, I think. It shows it's not just about making brand new things. It can be this powerful way to revisit, to enhance, even celebrate human creativity from the past.
Yeah, breathing new life into old ideas.
Exactly. It really offers a different angle on AI, how it can augment what humans do, rather than just replace it, helping old ideas finally reach, their full potential.
It definitely makes you think, doesn't it? Makes you wonder, what about you? What old projects, maybe old passions, do you have tucked away somewhere? Things maybe from years ago when you didn't have the tools or the time or the resources that maybe, just maybe with a fresh look or some new tech, could be completely reimagined, brought back to life in a way you never ever thought possible.
Comfort to look, I hate to see tears in your eyes. No, I'm a fool, but I
don't like to see you cry. I'm scared if I touch you and find the taste of your kiss. 'Cause something you've never had, they say you will never miss. You say that you're happy the way we live, but how can you say that we live in two